Alright, what's up my fellow anglers? It's Sam here for BAB Squad, and today I'll be showing you guys how to fish topwater. Showing frogs, whopper ploppers, poppers, and spooks. And then if that doesn't go well, I'll do some crankbait tips and stuff. Alright, so I made it to the first spot. This spot, I'll be showing you guys how to throw a frog, kind of like just reel it in and retrieve it and stuff. And to get some bass to kind of like bite it. I mean, right now it's like probably 86, 87 degrees. Not really sure if I'll be catching any fish today. Oh God, this wind is awful. I'm gonna get a line in the water and just kind of show you guys how to retrieve it. So I hope this goes well and I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so these are the two frogs that I have. These are pad crashers. This is a smaller one, this is a bigger one. I cut the legs off of this one a little bit because they were affecting the way I retrieve it. So I'll be throwing I'll throw the smaller one first and see how that goes. So I mean, I'm gonna put on the chest mount on the GoPro and let's get this thing, man. Yeah. Okay, so this is the first spot. It's kind of a pain to walk over here sometimes. These weeds have gotten super high. These weeds kind of started growing in. I think they grew in the week I was on tour. So, you guys don't remember, this is the frog that I'll be using. This little pad crasher. I have a spool tied on here because it'll be easier to switch between lures for you guys, and just for my sake of time. So. All right, so here I'm gonna make the first cast. Okay, that was an awful cast. All right, so I don't know if you guys can see this, but I work my rod tip up and down as I'm retrieving it in, so it looks like the frog is like kind of just like swimming over top of the weeds. And I'll do like a little pause in between each like twitch, so that they can kind of like recognize where it's coming from on the top of the water. I don't know if we're gonna be getting any bites today because I haven't fished over here in like forever, and my bait keeps getting blown away, or like blown around really. But I think I could fish the other side of this. So this is on the other side. I've never really gotten much bites over here. I mean, but this is just for you guys. So as I'm twitching my rod tip up and down, the frog, it kind of like moves up and down. The nose of it moves up and down. Okay, so the frog had its time, so now we're going to move on to the second lure, which is going to be the popper. So this is the Rebel Pop R. I'm missing a couple. I'm actually missing a hook on the back. There's only two, but I have all three in the front. So that's the second lure that I'll be starting off with. It's the bass pattern. It's kind of old. It's wearing away. The hooks are all rusted, but if we look into a fish, it should catch it. So I'll show you guys how to work that bait too also. I mean, these aren't really like tips that I've seen on YouTube. I've just seen a couple YouTubers that I watch, like John B. and Alex Perrick. I'll just like kind of show you like how they fish it, and I'll just like tell you guys like what to do, instead of like having like somebody else just like tell you that they're throwing a popper and like fish it instead of tell you how to fish it. That's what I'm gonna be doing today. So that's bait number 2, and I'll be moving to spot number 2. The spots that I'm going to aren't necessarily good for all these lures that I'm like throwing there. So I might have 3 or 4 lures at one spot. But for now, this is going to be spot number 2 with lure number 2, which is the Rebel Pop R with the bass color pattern on it. So I'll see you guys there. Alright, so we did make it to spot number 2. So this is the second spot. It's the corner of this lake. So after that, it's the corner of the lake. It's like a cove really, I guess. So I have 2 ways of really fishing this bait. I'll show you guys the first way. It kind of makes a lot more pop. I think that's the way you're supposed to make this bait. Oh my holy damn, there's so many bait fish right there. My God. Get a decent sized bass right here too. Dude, I actually might go get my finesse worms real quick. Actually, yeah, that's what I'm gonna go do real quick. So, I'll be right back. Alright, so this is number 2. Okay, so this is the first way that I do it. As you can see, like I'm kind of just flicking my wrist, or like the rod, really. So yeah, that was for number 1. So now we're gonna move on to the second way to move this popper. All right, so let me go ahead and just cast not that far out there. Okay, I got a little tangle. Okay. So for this way, this one makes kind of like a bubble, really. Okay, so now you guys are really at water level. My camera doesn't get as good quality when I have the case closed. So the case is closed. I'm like shouting right now. I have no idea how well this thing can hear me, so we're gonna go ahead and test it out here. This is gonna be. Right now. So now we're gonna go move on to the second lure, which is gonna be the whopper plopper. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna throw my spook because my spook is like for saltwater fishing. I made the mistake when I was picking it out for the tour on Amazon. I thought the color was good, so we're gonna have to switch. Okay, so now I'm gonna be throwing the whopper plopper. I think the pattern that I have is, I think it's the bluegill one. Gotta get it out of the grass. So this is, yeah, it's the bluegill pattern. River 2C, I think the brand is. Yeah. 90F is the size. And I'll just kind of, I mean, I don't know if there's like multiple ways to throw this bait, but I only have one. Okay, so I have the whopper plopper tied on. Or like not really tied on, just on my swivel. So go ahead and reel this bait in. Okay, so right as soon as I noticed, as I was reeling it in, it's not really moving. So I'm gonna go ahead and just lift the rod tip up in the air. So like when it's like under when it's like not working well, you don't get as like many spins as you do as it is like right now. I've never caught any fish here with this. I have gotten a couple blow-ups. Like I actually got, I think it may have been like a 30+ inch pike up north with this. It was definitely 30+ inch. It launched itself out of the water, but he missed my bait, so. I mean, you can kind of like trick this bait because I think it's supposed to imitate like a dime bait fish or a dime bluegill. Because that's what I have right now, so. So that's it with that bait. There's not really much like different ways you can throw it. Alright, so I'm gonna go put on my giant saltwater spook. Because Sam doesn't know how to order off of Amazon correctly. I mean, Amazon is kind of a hard website to order fishing lures off of, because you can't really size them like they are in the store. Is my camera gonna stay? Okay, that's a bit angled. Alright, that should be good. I'll show you guys the comparison between my spook and my whopper flopper. Okay, so these are supposed to be roughly the same size, right? They are not roughly the same size. So this is them like vertical. These are like, so the hooks don't even match up. These hooks are like literally for like giant, whatever, saltwater fish, I guess you could say. Like, so the end of this bait is probably the tail, and that's maybe halfway, the halfway point of the spook. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on my swivel actually. Close the barrel, clip the tag. Alright, and so now we can just get to fishing the spook. I'm gonna be at the same spot, and this is the last lure. So, I mean, never actually got to fish or anything to bite with this lure, but I'll show you guys how to fish it. Because I've seen other people fish it, and like I said before, they don't tell you how to fish it, they just use it. Alright, so this is the second lure. It's my saltwater spook. I mean, maybe there's probably a bass somewhere. So what you want on this is you want the side-to-side action. That's what you want on this, like, walk the dog, pencil stick bait thing, whatever. You can fish it slow or you can fish it fast. I personally fish it slow, so it gives the bigger fish a chance to like check it out and just like absolutely destroy it. I keep my rod tip low to the water because it's easier to get the side-to-side action that way. And I just kind of like move it down a little bit. I just move it up and down a little bit, not too much. Okay, yeah, that's pretty much it for this. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign off on my big camera. Alright, so that's all I have for today's episode of Fishing Tips with Sam. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and as a reminder, this is Sam of BAB Squad, and we will be uploading more of this series. There is more to come, and just comment what you guys want us to give you tips on. Today I gave you tips on my personal favorite of topwater lures, but as always guys, thank you guys for watching today's episode, and as always, get hooked.